Okay, I have a big blank screen, 1920 by 1080. I'm gonna, whoops, let me move this guy. I'm gonna click right here and add an empty layer, and this way I won't have a lock on it, and I'm gonna turn that off. So this is another way to develop patterns with patterns you've already established. Okay, so I'm going to click here on this little circle that looks like a black and white cookie called Create New Fill. And I'm going to click there and I'm going to go to Pattern. And inside Pattern, I can go in and pick a pattern. I'm going to choose this one. Now I don't have to do it at 100% of the size. I can go here and I can edit. Interesting. I can angle it. And I'm going to hit OK. Now I've got this pattern, but notice it's on a slightly special layer with masks and rasterize. So if I duplicate it, pick both of them, and then do Control E, oh, I got my face in the way again, or merge layers. And now it's a layer I can just manipulate and work with. Okay, I'm going to get this square and I'm going to pick an area, say right here in the middle. And I'm going to go to Filter, Distort, Twirl. And I'm going to decide how much I want to twirl it, what direction I want to twirl it, and say OK. So now I'm getting a kind of an interesting thing going on. I'm also going to go in, say, to another area, say this one, and I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation. So that's Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation. And right now I'm changing all the colors. Interesting what we can do, right? So that's fun. What about if I had a feather on that square? So I'm going to put a big feather of 23, and you have to hit enter or it doesn't take. And then pick this part in the middle here, so it's going to have a soft edge instead of see this hard edge. And that might make it even more interesting. Image, adjust, and I'm going to go to Hue and Saturation, and let's move that. Okay, so see the difference? The soft edge, you can't tell exactly where the hard edge is real sharp right there. Okay, so that's a good beginning. I'm going to put a layer above it, and I'm going to get, oh, I'm in my 3D workspace, so I'm going to go to Workspace and pick Essentials because I'm going to need paintbrushes and all sorts of things. So underneath the pencil is the paintbrush, and oh, Redaloo, I'm going to do a red line, and then I'm going to do a red spiral. And I'm going to go up here and I'm going to multiply. That's nice. How's overlay? How's difference? Oh, I kind of like difference. I think I'm going to go with difference. So now I'm getting this really odd and interesting pattern that's really quite different than what I started with if I hadn't manipulated so much. So this is another way to play with patterns. Let's do another one. So here we go, and I'm going to add an empty layer, and I'm going to click on the little circle that looks like a black and white cookie, and I'm going to click pattern again. And this time I'm going to do a tile. And maybe I'm going to go bigger than 100%. So here I am with scale. Good. And I'm going to do an angle. See, the angle doesn't show as much on this one because of the type of pattern it is. So not as exciting. I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to, let's see if it'll let me while it's still in that mode. And I'm going to click on the black and white. It's going to be hard, but it looks like a black and white cookie or a yin yang sound. And I'm going to hit pattern. And I'm going to pick yet another pattern. I'm going to do these vases, so that'll be interesting. Okay, and then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to adjust the color, image. Oops. Oh, I can't see. I got, let me merge those two. Control E, or of course you could have gone to the little pancake stack. Okay, now I can get image, adjust, hue and saturation, and I'm going to play with the color here. Okay, so that's fun. And how about if I do a cross this way and image and sorry, adjust, hue and saturation. Cool. And now I'm going to just twirl the whole thing. So I'm not going to pick any area because I want the whole thing to twirl. And I'm going to go to Filter, Distort, Twirl. Oh, I think I'm going to go with that default. So now I'm beginning to get some really interesting stuff. Now let me get my paintbrush. And I'm going to choose a different color this time. And I still have a pretty thick line. Oh, I put it right on there. That was a mistake. So let me hit undo, Control Z. And I'm going to get an empty layer just above it. And now I'm going to do that line. Because if I do it this way, then I can go up and play with the modes. That one's kind of fun. Ooh, they're all interesting. Oh, I love that one. I think I'm going to go with color burn. Okay, so right now that's on a different layer, right? So if I duplicate that layer and move it over, oops, I didn't duplicate. I'm a bad person. Hold Control Z. Duplicate that layer. Now I have two. Move it over. Filter. Distort. I'm going to do twirl again. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so that's going to change it totally. And then right now it's on color burn. What about if I went to difference? Okay, so we're getting some really interesting playing, just making things. Okay, and the way you turn this in is you would merge all the layers. I'm going to throw away the other one we did. Let's say I decided not to turn that one in. Okay, I just need all of it. Well, here go. Layer, notice whatever's on the screen is what I'm going to get, flatten image, and I'm going to discard my hidden areas. And then I'm going to save it, File, Save As, and save on your computer desktop. And you're going to email this to me, and you're going to call it your last name and pattern 1. And you can turn in as many as 3. And try to go in different directions with the different ones. But that's kind of a fun thing right there. What if we did a bulge? Let's just be really silly here and change it a little bit. So filter, distort, and spherize, not bulge, sorry. It's bulge in another program. I just know too many programs. Okay, so that changes it slightly, right? It just changes that area. And then what if I had a circle with a feather? I'm going to put a big feather on it, like 45. And, oh, I'm not in the circle, I'm in the line, so that's no fun at all. Circle. And remember, if I hold shift, it'll be a perfect circle, where if I don't, it'll be an oblong. Okay, image, adjust. And you can do different things, but hue and saturation is one of my favorite ones to play with, as you can see. So I think right there. Okay, and then that would be a different one that I could turn in, although I'd rather you really went off in another direction. Okay, have fun.